Hey teachers, I'm going to be going through a quick tutorial for the OneNote setup on the teacher end. I apologize if this is not being as polished as the student one is. It's just I just don't have time. None of us have time. Let's be real here. All right, and then if I'm looking away, it's because I'm looking at a script and some notes, and also I'm going to be cutting out some parts here and there. So if you see some weird editing, it's just to shorten the time. People know I can be pretty verbose, and like let's just cut to the chase here. All right, so if you want to create a notebook for OneNote, you want to go through Schoology. So let's go to the first steps here. If you've already created a notebook, I would suggest that you really want to scrap that. And then second tier, it's like if you've created it with all the pages and all the sections in it, there is a way to go around it where you create the Schoology first, or second, I guess, and then you just copy it. So I guess I'll show you real quick. So in OneNote, like this is like math analysis from last year, and I'm like, hey, maybe I want to copy this entire section from the welcome page or the entire unit 1 for functions. I can right click, I can click move and copy, and then you can move it to a different notebook that you want to copy. So say I want to copy to my personal notebook, I can do there. I can either move it or copy. Unfortunately, this takes time, so that's why I prefer to say that just scrap it and just start from scratch. Hopefully it's not too bad, but if you do, just let me know if you have any questions on that. Okay, so let's go back to Schoology. So what we're going to want to do is find the course that you want to do it for. So for me, I'm going to do it for Comp Math. I haven't done this yet for Comp Math, which is why this is the example, since we're not going to use OneNote. So in Comp Math, I'm going to go down to the OneNote class notebook down here on the bottom left-ish. I scroll down just a little bit here. If you were like me and you linked your classes, you'll notice that at the top here, there's a drop-down menu for each of your different blocks or your periods. If you haven't linked it, what's going to happen is you have to go back to the courses tab and do this separately for every single class. So pros and cons either way, it's up to you. So I'm just going to make it for first block right now. I'm going to say, hey, let's just sign in. Credentials will come up. Hopefully this is pretty quick. You might need to actually type in your what is it called? Your Microsoft username. So for me, it's going to be Spark3. So just make sure you keep that in mind. It's going to go through the process. This is the part where you're going to want to change it. So if you have a linked class, you're going to notice here that it's going to put the entire course or all the sections. Yours, if it's by itself, might just say like comp or whatever math class, year, last name first, initial, followed by the period. So I would say just scrap this whole thing and just call it whatever you want to. So I'm just going to scrap that and just say 2021 for the year, and I'm just going to say like period 1, right? And so the reason I do 2021 is if you saw my OneNote tab here, I will put the year afterwards just because sometimes I like to keep the previous one just to quickly just copy and paste notes into from the old to the new. But let's just do that. So let's do next. You can read through all this stuff. I'm not going to explain that to you because that's not hard. This one's great for entering TAs, co-teachers, sped teachers, whatever you need. Just throw them in here. This is my favorite part. You don't need to add them manually. If you guys watch the student video, which is like about 3.5 minutes long, once they enter in after you've created the notebook, it automatically plugs them into your OneNote notebook without you having to do anything, without him having to go like add this course or things like that. It's literally all done in Schoology. So as long as your students follow that video, and I did a pretty good job explaining every step, you should be fine. So we're going to just do it automatically. We'll go from there. This is the part where you can add the sections. I personally do units. I know Geizy and Ramesh do the module. So do whatever you need to do here. I don't really care because it's an example. Yeah, we know what it looks like. So create, take it a second, let it do its job. Yada yada yada. Here's where I skip. Perfect. Okay, so we're good to go. I'm just gonna click open in OneNote just to make sure it's good to go. Last year we had this weird issue where like we had to open it in online first and then we had to open it in OneNote. I think that's cleared for now. So I'm just gonna try. If not, that's totally cool. But I think they worked the kinks out from last year. So give it a second. This is my math analysis one from last year. This should be opening a link, creating the notebook, having all the pages set up, and it'll also sync any students that might have joined in the time period that you've created this. So now that you created it, we can just go back out here and we can see that, hey, we've got Comp Math 2021, period 1, we got the basic stuff here. Now you notice no kids come up because they haven't joined in yet. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna look over here on my test Chromebook. Thank you, Ms. Greer. And I'm going to do a quick add-in. So you might see me do a speed up here, or I'll probably just cut to when it actually happens because you don't want to watch me do this for like 5 minutes. Maybe force it. There we go. So that's the example student here. So the student popped up. It's good to go. All he or she had to do was just go follow the instructions for the video, and then you're good to go. So this year's been much easier than last year, just pretty seamless. And then at this point, it's all just about organization for what you need to do. At this point, you're pretty much done. Just making sure each student is in the OneNote notebook itself and that they're good on their side. I will be posting another video mostly for the student, but this actually might be good for teachers, on how the students need to operate on their end. So some tips and tricks and things that we've learned from the last year of kind of playing around with OneNote. So keep an eye out for that video. And if you guys want other tips and tricks for like what to do, I have some, but I feel like all of us who have done it kind of have our own takes on it. So I know that I'm like the tech guru of the math department, but like I'm sure there's other people who know like more than I do, which is great, and we're just learning together. So hopefully this is a good start. I hope that this is what you guys are asking for, but yeah, should be good.